Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? As you're young and you're going through these experiences, did you know that you were pushing yourself that way because you weren't good enough?
Yeah, I just was willing to do anything to make the team, and I would just ignore the pain. I've always been pretty disciplined, but even in wrestling, it turned to I developed an eating disorder that lasted till I was till around 21, 22 years old. Just from bulimia. My parents made me eat. I went upstairs, threw it up.
Mm,
And then that even folded into more body issues for me, and I know it's like, men don't like to talk about our body issues, but I did. I had them and just always felt like, I saw the posters that girls had in their college dorms, and I don't look like that. I don't have those genetics, even at 98 pounds and starving, I still didn't have, like, ripped abs. It's just not my genetics. And so realizing, okay, they're never gonna accept me, I just can't I just better get thinner or whatever and just work out more. So go to class, work out, come back, and that's all I did to the point where you really start hurting yourself. But the good thing is, like you said, life is iterative. I call it there's everything in life is reincarnation, and I
mm.
got to do wrestling over by going into judo. And for me, that was my competitive sport. And my goal was, I am going to do this the correct way. I didn't cut weight. I didn't really get hurt. I did really, really well. Because for me, the battle was the scale and not my opponent. And when we get distracted by that, because I thought if I just make weight, I win. And to see how much I was going to starve myself. And it's so unhealthy. It's such an unhealthy mindset. And going to judo was actually even my Buddhist teacher was the one to tell me, he said, go take judo. And I knew it was going to have more than just the effect of, what it was going to do for me athletic ways. I learned so much about myself and fear and, just the fear of falling and, and falling throughout in my life. And it really helped me. I did really well. I progressed. It was something that was really helpful and really changed my whole life. So I look at everything in ways where whenever I failed to do it again and say, well, I can reincarnate this and just do this because now I have more wisdom. Now I have better technique. Now I went out and sought out help and I got a coach and I got a mentor. Or if I didn't, I never really had any mentors. I used to call them my 60-second mentors, where I just meet these people and I would always ask them questions. I was very much like, let me ask them how to be successful and just listen. And people always talk to me and they would do that. And I would listen, take notes, and that's the way I went about life. So even in college too, I had severe test anxiety. I did not, I was, so I'll, I actually got kicked out of the accounting department eventually. So I'm a 3-time CFO of the year. I don't have an accounting degree. I'm
Mm.
a really good accountant, but
Yeah, no
it
kidding.
was just that I couldn't take a test, and that beat me up. I didn't understand it. There was a way until I went away to on exchange in Newcastle upon Tyne, and I got straight A's. Well, what happened? It was all papers and presentations, things I excelled at. And
Yeah,
so I
the
learned
things that actually matter in accounting too, right?
how to present. So I'm a visual kinesthetic learner. So
Mm.
I need to feel it. So it was really funny, like working with my editor, Ben Obler, and he was in New York, and I'm down in Barbados, and I said, Ben, all right, so you're gonna get frustrated with me. You're gonna teach me things over and over again, and I'm not gonna get it, and you're gonna think, what is it with this guy? And then one day it's gonna click, and I'm gonna go well past what you taught me, and that's what happened because I know how I learn. And I think that's really if I have one piece of advice to give out to your listeners, it's go learn how you learn and go because you will feel so because maybe you can't do things the way the other people do. Maybe reading books doesn't work, but audio does. Learn those modalities that work for you. For me, I got to feel it. Even at judo practice, I would get down on the mat and look, and I had to see and be exactly and then feel it. Because as soon as I can feel it in my body, then I learn it. And so
Yeah.
sometimes I have to read things over and over again. But when I get it, I get it. And I can go back and retain all that information. So you have to really learn how you learn. And if you can do that, that's really great.